All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am VC Pramod and with me is Sarajit Kaur. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fighting COVID with all its might and will emerge victorious against the second wave also. Centre says nearly 12 crore doses of vaccines will be available in June for National COVID vaccination program. Public sector banks announce new loans to mitigate impact of corona. Railways delivers more than 21,392 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Maharashtra, Telangana and Haryana extend lockdown with certain restrictions. Uttar Pradesh government to start unlock process from tomorrow. New study says coronavirus was created by Chinese scientists in Wuhan lab. Southwest monsoon to hit Kerala by the 3rd of June. And Pooja Rani bags gold at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. MC Mary Kom, Lal Butsahi and Anupama settle for silver. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, take all precautions, and all those above 45 years of age who have taken the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to get vaccinated with the second dose at the scheduled time. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. National helplines are operational for providing COVID-related information and guidance to the people. National helpline numbers are 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India is fighting COVID-19 with all its might and will emerge victorious against the second wave of the pandemic also. In his Mann Ki Baat program, Mr. Modi said the nation's resolve to prevail over the virus is equal to the magnitude of the challenges it faces. Prime Minister said the country fought the first wave of corona courageously and it will be victorious in its ongoing fight against the virus during the second wave also.
मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, चुनौती कितनी ही बड़ी हो, भारत का विजय का संकल्प भी हमेशा उतना ही बड़ा रहा है। देश की सामूहिक शक्ति और हमारे सेवाभाव ने देश को हर तूफान से बाहर निकाला है। हाल के दिनों में हमने देखा है कि कैसे हमारे डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस और फ्रंटलाइन वॉरियर्स उन्होंने खुद की चिंता छोड़कर दिन रात काम किया और आज भी कर रहे हैं। कोरोना महामारी के रूप में इतनी बड़ी परीक्षा तो लगातार चल रही है। ये तो एक ऐसा संकट है जिसने पूरी दुनिया को परेशान किया है। इस वैश्विक महामारी के बीच भारत सेवा और सहयोग के संकल्प के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है। हमने पहली वेव में भी पूरे हौसले के साथ लड़ाई लड़ी थी। इस बार भी वायरस के खिलाफ चल रही लड़ाई में भारत विजयी होगा।
Mr. Modi said this is a crisis that has plagued the whole world and so many people have lost their loved ones. He said even big countries have not been spared from its devastation. The Prime Minister said the nation followed the mantra of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and that India now moves ahead and not under the pressure of other countries but with its own convictions.
इन वर्षों में देश सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास के मंत्र पर चला है। देश की सेवा में हर क्षण समर्पित भाव से हम सभी ने काम किया है। इन 7 वर्षों में जो कुछ भी उपलब्धि रही है वो देश की रही, देशवासियों की रही है। कितने ही राष्ट्रीय गौरव के क्षण हमने इन वर्षों में साथ मिलकर अनुभव किए हैं। जब हम ये देखते हैं कि अब भारत दूसरे देशों की सोच और उनके दबाव में नहीं, अपने संकल्प से चलता है, तो हम सबको गर्व होता है। जब हम देखते हैं कि अब भारत अपने खिलाफ साजिश करने वालों को मुंहतोड़ जवाब देता है, तो हमारा आत्मविश्वास और बढ़ता है। जब भारत राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के मुद्दों पर समझौता नहीं करता, जब हमारी सेनाओं की ताकत बढ़ती है, तो हमें लगता है कि हाँ, हम सही रास्ते पर हैं।
Mr. Modi spoke to a number of people ranging from those engaged in transporting medical oxygen to lab technicians during his Mann Ki Baat program. The Prime Minister noted that the nation also faced several natural disasters including cyclones, landslides and earthquakes during the pandemic and said more lives were saved than in the past with the centre, states and local administrations coming together to carry out relief and rescue operations.
The centre has said that nearly 12 crore doses will be available in June this year for the national COVID vaccination. The Union Health Ministry said more than 6 crore 9 lakh doses of COVID vaccines will be supplied to the states and UTs for vaccination of priority group of healthcare workers, frontline workers and person aged 45 years and above as free supply from the Government of India. In addition, more than 5 crore 86 lakh doses will be available for direct procurement by the state and UTs and private hospitals. The ministry said states have been requested to direct the concerned officials to ensure rational and judicious utilization of allocated doses and minimize the vaccine wastage.
Vaccination is an integral pillar of the comprehensive strategy of the central government for containment and management of the pandemic, along with test, track and treat and COVID-appropriate behavior. India had launched the world's largest vaccination drive on 16th January this year. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, government has been supporting the states and UTs by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. Government is informing them in advance of the quantum of free vaccine doses to be made available to ensure better planning and delivery of vaccines by states and union territories. A total of over 7 crore 94 lakh doses were made available this month for National COVID Vaccination Program. With Dipendra, Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has initiated efforts in mission mode to ramp up testing to 45 lakhs per day and massively upscale rural testing by the 30th of June. Earlier this month, ICMR revised testing strategy that rationalizes testing through RT-PCR and enhanced testing in rural areas. In the last 17 months, ICMR has covered many milestones as India continues its fight against COVID-19. India had reached the landmark of 300 million cumulative tests on the 7th of May.
Public sector banks in India have announced various support measures and launch of new loan products to mitigate the impact of COVID pandemic. This will include the unsecured loans of up to 5 lakh rupees to individuals to meet their and their family members' COVID-19 treatment cost. The Indian Banks Association and State Bank of India jointly announced 3 new loan products in Mumbai yesterday. These are based on various measures announced by RBI and the Government of India. The measures are designed to provide fresh lending support to vaccine manufacturers, hospitals or dispensaries, pathology labs, manufacturers and suppliers of oxygen, ventilators, importers of vaccines and COVID-related drugs, logistic firms and patients for treatment. Apart from individual loan for treatment, the other 2 loans include healthcare business loan of up to 2 crore rupees and business loans for healthcare facilities of up to 100 crore rupees. Healthcare business loan is for setting up oxygen plants under Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme with 100% guarantee cover of NCGTC. Loan for healthcare facilities is to set up or expand healthcare infrastructure and manufacture of healthcare products. The Railways has delivered more than 21,392 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. The Railway Ministry said it is continuing its journey of bringing relief by delivering liquid medical oxygen to various states, and so far 392 oxygen expresses have rendered the service. The oxygen expresses started their deliveries 35 days back on the 24th of April in Maharashtra. Oxygen expresses reached out to 15 states, namely Uttarakhand, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Haryana, Telangana, Punjab, Kerala, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand and Assam. The Railways is picking up oxygen from places like Hapa, Baroda, Mundra in the west and Rourkela, Durgapur, Tatanagar, Angul in the east and then delivering it to various states. The ministry said liquid medical oxygen delivery to Haryana and Karnataka crossed 2,000 tons each.
The centre has been disseminating awareness of 4 national-level helpline numbers created for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. Information and Broadcasting Ministry is promoting awareness about these helpline numbers through its various departments. The national helpline of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for COVID-related queries is 1075. The child helpline number of Ministry of Women and Child Development is 1098. For senior citizens, the helpline number of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is 14567 and it is for Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. While the helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 0804 611 0007. Over the last several months, the government has created awareness through various instrumentalities and media platforms for creating awareness on the three critical issues: COVID treatment protocol, COVID appropriate behavior, and vaccination. Private TV and FM channels are also advised to promote awareness of these helplines by the way of a ticker or such appropriate ways as they may consider at periodical intervals, especially during the prime time. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fighting COVID with all its might and will emerge victorious against the second wave also. Centre says nearly 12 crore doses of vaccines will be available in June for National COVID Vaccination Programme. Public sector banks announce new loans to mitigate impact of corona. Railways delivers more than 21,392 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Maharashtra, Telangana and Haryana extend lockdown with certain restrictions. Uttar Pradesh government to start unlock process from tomorrow. New study says coronavirus was created by Chinese scientists in Wuhan lab. Southwest monsoon to hit Kerala by 3rd of June. And Pooja Rani bags gold at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. MC Maricom, Lal Butsahi and Anupama settle for silver. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
For the 17th consecutive day yesterday, the COVID recoveries outnumbered the new cases. In the past 24 hours, over 2,76,000 COVID patients recovered, whereas in the same time span, 1,65,553 fresh cases were recorded nationwide. The daily reported cases continue to dip and it remained the lowest in the last 46 days. The recovery rate in the country has further improved to 91.25%. A total of 946 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to over 14,25,000. The Delhi government has said that over 13,89,000 people affected with COVID-19 have been cured so far. In the last 24 hours, 1,803 people recovered and 78 deaths were reported in the city. Presently, the total number of active cases of COVID-19 in the national capital is 12,100. More than 53,918 beneficiaries have been vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine doses in the last 24 hours in Delhi. With this, so far, more than 53,43,000 vaccine doses have been administered.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said that lockdown-like restrictions have been extended for 15 more days. The strict restrictions which are currently in effect in the state were to end at 7 a.m. on the 1st of June. However, they have been further extended till June 15th. The Chief Minister said relaxation will be given by taking into consideration the COVID situation in respective districts. He said the decision on Class 12 board exams in the state will be taken soon. More in this report from our Mumbai correspondent.
Maharashtra government has said that instead of implementing its break the chain order uniformly in the state, the restrictions will now be relaxed or made more stringent till 7 a.m. of 15th June 2021 by taking into account the positivity rate in the jurisdiction of a municipality, areas of districts and the availability of oxygen beds at various places. The municipal corporations or regions of the district with less than 10% COVID-19 positivity rate and where the availability of occupied oxygen beds will be less than 40%, there the restrictions will be relaxed. Accordingly, all the establishments, shops engaged in essential commodities and services that are presently open from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. can now remain open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
The Telangana government has decided to extend the COVID lockdown for 10 more days. As a result, the lockdown, which is currently imposed till the 31st of this month, will be extended for 10 more days. However, lockdown relaxation period has been increased up to 1 p.m. and people will be allowed to reach their homes till 2 p.m.
The Haryana government has extended lockdown till the 7th of next month, with a major relaxation for opening shopping malls from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Addressing a press conference, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal said, as per the request made by shopkeepers, vendors and businessmen regarding the extension of timings, now shops can be opened from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on odd-even basis. However, the directions regarding the closure of schools and ITIs will continue till the 15th of next month, while Anganwadi and creches till 30th of June, added the Chief Minister. The Chief Minister said the shopping malls have to follow the prescribed visitor and time limitations. In the shopping mall, one person per area of 25 square meters will be allowed to remain present at one time. Likewise, the number of persons can vary as per the built-up area. The mall owners have to develop a mobile application to keep a check on entry and exit of people visiting the malls. He further said mall owners have been asked to formulate certain regulations for the same and get it approved from the concerned deputy commissioners. He added that directions are given to industries for continuing their operations while following the COVID-19 appropriate behavior, and guidelines for functioning of offices with 50% staff strength would continue. The Uttar Pradesh government will start the unlock process of Corona curfew in a phased manner from tomorrow across the state. Meanwhile, the present COVID curfew, which was about to end this morning at 7 a.m., has been extended for one more day till tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. More from our correspondent.
After the decline of 95% in the new COVID cases, the state government has decided to lift the present COVID curfew with certain guidelines, and weekend COVID curfew will continue to remain throughout the state. According to an official release, the COVID curfew will continue in 20 districts that have more than 600 active cases. In the remaining 55 districts, shops will be allowed to open with strict safety protocols from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Night curfew will continue in the whole of the state. Chief Minister said that if cases rise above 600 in these districts, the relaxations in Corona curfew will automatically end. Coaching centers, shopping malls, gyms and swimming pools will remain closed. All educational centers will also remain closed in the state. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Madhya Pradesh, an auto rickshaw driver from Bhopal, Javed Khan, has transformed his three-wheeler into a 24/7 ambulance service equipped with an oxygen cylinder, hand sanitizer, PPE kit and oximeter to help COVID patients. A report from our Bhopal correspondent.
Javed Khan has been providing free of cost service to COVID patients and family members of such patients. He says that he wanted to help those in distress amid the second wave of COVID-19. Javed has sold his wife Kishwar Khan's gold jewellery to be able to make arrangements for the conversion of the vehicle.
ये सब चीज देखा कि अब रोडों पे नौजवान तड़प रहा है, उसको ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिल पा रहा, एम्बुलेंस को टाइम पे नहीं मिल पा रही, कोई अपने कंधे पे लेके जा रहा है, तो ये सब देख के एक दिल हिला और हमने सोचा क्यों ना हम समाज के लिए आगे आओ, समाज के लिए कुछ हम सेवा कर सकते हैं.
Javed has put up a plastic barricade for his safety in the vehicle to maintain safe distance from the passengers. He urges citizens to stay at home and help people in these tough times. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
The Chhattisgarh government has decided to provide financial assistance of 5 lakh rupees to the dependents of media persons who died due to COVID-19. This assistance will be given under the Media Representative Welfare Assistance Rules. More details on this from our Raipur correspondent.
In Chhattisgarh, Public Relations Directorate is collecting information regarding the families of COVID-affected journalists. The dependent of journalists who have died due to corona infection can submit the application for financial assistance in the prescribed form to the Public Relations Office of the concerned district. The government of Chhattisgarh has also decided to reimburse the expenses incurred in the treatment of journalists who suffered from corona infection and were admitted in hospital. A meeting of Journalist Welfare Fund Committee will be called soon by the Directorate of Public Relations. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
Bihar is witnessing a sharp decline in fresh COVID-19 cases. The state's recovery rate has risen to over 97%, while the test positivity rate has declined to 1.46%. The number of active cases is also decreasing and presently stands at 18,377. Over 6,82,000 people have so far recovered from the infection. 1,475 fresh COVID cases were reported in the state during the last 24 hours and 4,130 people recovered yesterday. Over 1,377,000 people have been vaccinated in the state so far. The Odisha government has extended the ongoing COVID-induced lockdown till the 17th of June in order to contain the coronavirus infection in the state. Odisha Chief Secretary Suresh Chandra Mohapatra made the announcement in this regard yesterday. He said there will be a lockdown throughout the state with effect from 5 a.m. on the 1st of June till 5 a.m. on the 17th of June. There will be a complete shutdown on weekends. Grocery stores and shops will be allowed to open from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the morning from Monday to Friday, but on weekends they will be closed, he said. The Chief Secretary also added that the movement of goods and services under the essential category will not be affected due to the restrictions in Odisha.
The Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council Leh has adopted village schools in some blocks to develop as model for quality education at village level. These council model schools have now turned into a popular demand of other villages to strengthen their schools as well as quality education. On the occasion of 50 years of AIR Leh, our correspondent filed this.
The success of Council Model School project at middle level school in Kharu, Saspol and Leh block has become an inspiration for other villages and neighboring district Kargil for replication. In Council Model School, through Village Education Committee, villagers run the school under the supervision of headmaster. Introduction of CBSE textbook, extra co-curricular activities and innovative ideas are working wonders for the children to grow in their own surroundings of the village. It was introduced by former Chief Executive Councillor of Hill Council, late Dr. Sonam Dawa, about 5 years ago. Recognition to his notable contribution in making success of Council Model, Headmaster Sakti Council Model School, Mr. Sonam Gyalsan, has been awarded as National Best Teacher for 2019. He says,
कि गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से, एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से, हिल काउंसिल लेह की तरफ से, तो यूटी लद्दाख की तरफ से बहुत सारे फैसिलिटीज दिया जा रहा है. फ्री यूनिफॉर्म्स दिया जा रहा है, फ्री बुक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन दिया जा रहा है, फ्री लंच दिया जा रहा है, और साथ में अभी आने वाले दिनों में टैबलेट्स दिए जा रहे हैं बच्चों को.
With Ramesh Chandra, this is Youngchan Dolma for AIR News, Leh Ladakh.
World leaders have called for more action and inclusion of all countries in the global drive towards a cleaner and greener planet at a climate summit hosted virtually by South Korea. In a video message for the opening day of the P4G Summit 2021 in Seoul yesterday, UN Chief Antonio Guterres said the world needs a global partnership to beat COVID-19, achieve the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) and address climate change. The UN Secretary General expressed that although there are commitments to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, there is still much to do to close the emission gap and achieve the SDGs. The P4G Summit, which stands for Partnering for Green Growth and Global Goals 2030, functions as a platform to connect governments, businesses, international organizations and civil society.
Amid calls for a fresh probe into the origins of COVID-19, a new study has alleged that Chinese scientists created the virus in a Wuhan lab. A research paper by British Professor Angus Dalglish and Norwegian scientist Dr. Birger Sorensen said that the Chinese scientists tried to hide the evidence by reverse engineering versions of the virus to make it look like it evolved from bats, UK's Daily Mail reported. The research paper said the SARS-CoV-2 has no credible natural ancestor and was created by Chinese scientists who were working on a gain-of-function project in a Wuhan lab. The research says that scientists took a natural coronavirus backbone found in Chinese cave bats and spliced onto it a new spike, turning it into the highly transmissible virus that causes COVID-19. The study has alleged deliberate destruction, concealment or contamination of data at Chinese labs and disappearance of scientists who spoke out. At the Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai, defending champion Pooja Rani won the gold medal in the 75 kg women's category, while legendary pugilist MC Maricom, Lal Butsahi and Anupama finished with silver. Tokyo Olympics bound Pooja defeated Mavluda Mavlova of Uzbekistan 5-0 and secured India's first gold medal at the ongoing event. She had also won the gold medal in the previous edition in 2019, but that was in the 81 kg division. Today, Indian male boxers Amit Pangal, Shiv Thapa and Sanjeet will fight it out in the finals. The defending champion Pangal will be up against the Rio Olympics and world champion Uzbek pugilist Zoirov Shakubuddin of Uzbekistan in 52 kg final. Indian contingent has already ensured their best ever show at the Asian Championships by assuring 15 medals so far and bettered previous highest of 13 medals achieved in the 2019 edition. The India Meteorological Department has said that the onset of monsoon in Kerala is likely to take place by the 3rd of June. Earlier it had predicted the arrival of monsoon over Kerala by the 31st of May. As per the latest meteorological indications, the southwesterly winds could strengthen further gradually from the 1st of June, resulting in likely enhancement in rainfall activity over Kerala. Hence, the onset of monsoon over Kerala is likely to take place by the 3rd of next month. Talking to AIR News, IMD DG Mrityunjay Mohapatra said,
Normally, southwest monsoon sets in over Kerala around 1st June. At present, the strength of westerly winds near Kerala coast has not increased. Also, the rainfall has not increased. And therefore, all the criteria for onset of monsoon of Kerala is not being satisfied at present. After 1st June, the conditions will improve with strengthening of westerly winds and increase in rainfall activity gradually over Kerala coast. Therefore, we are expecting that southwest monsoon is likely to set in over Kerala around 3rd June.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have thunderstorm with rain. Temperature will hover between 27 and 38 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Minimum temperature was 29, maximum will be 35. Chennai is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will vary between 29 and 40 degrees. Jammu will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon evening. Minimum temperature was 24, maximum will be 40. Leh is expected to have cloudy sky, minimum will be 8, maximum 21. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky, temperature will hover between 19 and 37 degrees. Muzaffarabad is likely to have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon evening. Minimum will be 17 and maximum will be around 36 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Jets sent to fly Choksi to India, Antigua PM is the lead story in the Hindustan Times. The paper adds that the Antiguan PM told local media that India has sent a private jet to Dominica to repatriate the fugitive De Monte. Number of new cases across India dips further to 1.5 lakh is the lead in the Hindu. India fought first wave courageously, will be victorious now too. Modi is a front page item in the Times of India. The paper adds that BJP observes 7 years of government with COVID relief. And finally, Maricom signs off with silver medal at Asian Boxing Championships is widely reported by all dailies. The papers add that the 6-time world champion went down after an intense final with an opponent 11 years her junior.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fighting COVID with all its might and will emerge victorious against the second wave also. Centre says nearly 12 crore doses of vaccines will be available in June for national COVID vaccination program. Public sector banks announce new loans to mitigate impact of corona. Railways delivers more than 21,392 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Maharashtra, Telangana and Haryana extend lockdown with certain relaxations. Uttar Pradesh government to start unlock process from tomorrow. New study says coronavirus was created by Chinese scientists in Wuhan lab. southwest monsoon to hit Kerala by 3rd of June. And Pooja Rani bags gold at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. MC Mary Kom, Lal Butsahi and Anupama settle for silver. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.